Yeah, sis and tell, a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. Amanda does stand up, Alison's on TV, and when they hop on the phone, it's the place you wanna be. Sis and tell.
Hello, Allie.
Hello, man. What's going on?
Well, I've just been counting down the days so I can tell you this story of something that happened when I was with you.
This is the perils of doing a podcast, is that when we're actually and infrequently in person together because of COVID, mostly the infrequent part, we are also on guard for not saying too much to each other, because then it ruins the spontaneity of our storytelling.
Especially when there's a good story, right? And I'm in the line of thought now that if something bad or weird happens, I'm like, yes, this would either make a great podcast or be wonderful to talk about on stage. Like I think I've mentioned before, I'm like, if I were ever like in a bank robbery, not like the bank robber, but if I was like in Bank of America during a robbery, I'd be like, this will be a great story to tell on stage. That's all that's going to run through my head. Not like, oh my God, am I going to get murdered? But,
right.
You know. So you just celebrated your 50th birthday over Labor Day weekend.
I did. Yep.
We had a basically a social distance get together on Lake Chickamauga. Is that how
That's
how
how
you pronounce it?
I'm very proud of you. Yes, Lake Chickamauga and Chattanooga, or
Right?
Chattanooga as the locals say.
Or Chattanooga, as Mommy said when she's in town. It's
Yes.
Chattanooga for obvious reasons. But so Murray, my oldest, 14, is like obsessed with these jet skis that you have, and I have to say, I'm just scared of jet skis. It's like a motorcycle in the water.
Yeah, but these are like mini jet skis. They're like, I'm not a jet ski fan. I'm the same way, right? And our boys know that they are not allowed to ride a motorcycle, a moped, any of that. And I was very hesitant and not crazy about getting jet skis when we invested. But these are really like they're sort of like I don't know, they're like baby jet skis. So
But they
they're not
still
as bad.
they go up to like 50 miles an hour.
Well,
right?
okay. But it's a good compromise.
So my worst nightmare was being on the back of a jet ski with Murray driving. That's what happened, right? We were on the back. It's like he could have been going 15 miles an hour, and I was like, too fast, Murray, slow down. And it was way too fast, and he happened to slow down as we enter this patch of, is it called milfoil?
Milfoil, yeah. It sounds like you want to say something else, but it's milfoil.
MF. Yeah, I did want to call it MFs. It's like seaweed in a lake, but so we ended up stalling out right in the middle of this lake, like far away from where y'all were, right? There's no yelling, although I was yelling, Alan, help us.
Help.
And really no one knew we were out there except for Alan. And we were, the jet ski had sucked up all the milfoil. We were surrounded.
Milfoil.
Milfoil. It's the seaweed, the lake seaweed.
You know what you just did? You combined the milfoil with Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Milfoil. Milfoil. It's foil. I'd like to know.
Anyway, no, don't go there.
Okay. So anyways, so that it had sucked it up, right? And we were stuck in the middle. I didn't know how deep it was. All I knew is we were surrounded by this stuff. And I looked at Murray and I go, this is how every horror movie starts, right?
Starts and ends. Let's be clear.
Ends, right? This is the opening scene. It's Labor Day weekend. We're out having fun. I'm with my son. We get stuck and someone has to jump in the water to free the jet ski from all this stuff. But we don't know what's in there. And if I jump in, I'm going to be eaten by a 60-foot anaconda or some like bull shark that somehow got into fresh water. And of course, I will die because, like every Disney movie, the mother dies at the beginning, and that's how
somebody is always orphaned. Yes, you know.
Yeah, and I'm the one to die, and I'm like, I am not. And also, I do not like lakes. I'm like, honest, like I'm afraid of lakes, and I blame all the Jaws movies because I was like, if I can't see what's underneath me, it freaks me out. And not only can I not see, I'm like, it would be surrounded by this fauna, or it was.
All right, so what happened? I mean, you're clearly here and you weren't eaten by an anaconda. So right, spoiler alert, you survived.
Maybe it regurgitated me. I don't know. But I was like, they'll eventually come to us, right? I knew eventually Alan would see us. So eventually of course, Alan, he like comes to us in the jet ski, and then it turns into like a Baywatch episode because Alan, like, if I'm gonna cast our life, John Cena would play Alan. This is he like whips around in the jet ski, does this like move where, he like, you splash the water, he does like a curve, and he's wearing his life jacket, but it's only zipped half up, right? So his like Alan muscles are popping out. He comes to save the day.
Okay, he is listening to this right now and like yelling at you and wholly embarrassed by this because
he's
yes.
like a Jewish superhero. But anyway,
Oh God.
But so, and he looks at me and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to need you to jump in the water." And I just go, "Nope, that's not happening."
I will stay out here for the rest of my life before I will get rescued by jumping in the water. Yeah.
And I repeated to him, "This is the beginning of every horror movie. I'm not dying. You have to jump in the water." And he actually, he went in the water, and then there was so much lake seaweed is what I'm going to call it, milfoil.
Yeah.
Milfoil stuck in it, and he had to pull it out. And then it was like a scene from City Slickers where,
We've gone from Jaws to City Slickers in one move.
But you know what scene I'm talking about, where they have to like birth the cow?
Yeah.
And they stick their hand in and like pull out the baby cow. That's what this was, except it was like probably a 200 pounds worth of lake seaweed. And then we made our way back. We were okay.
I was, when you told me that you had this crazy story that happened, I was expecting a more dramatic ending. That was it, huh?
Oh, that was it. It was very dramatic.
Traumatic, I understand. Not so much dramatic. Yeah.
You're right. That's like I was at a wedding once, and I did something, and someone behind me goes, "Oh, Amanda, you're so dramatic." And my friend Brooke whipped her head around and said, "Amanda is not dramatic. She is theatrical, and there is a difference."
That's a good friend who sticks up for you.
Right? And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not dramatic. I'm theatrical."
It's nuanced.
Right?
It's nuanced. Yes.
We're gonna
Semantics
turn this into
count.
a musical, right? Everything's like a script. Zoom in on Amanda.
Well,
Right.
the 50th was quite the treat. I told somebody the other day that I love turning 50. I'm not, Alan keeps going, "She turned a big number." I'm like, I'm embracing it, right? I think 50 is awesome. And I told a friend of mine, I was like, it was like basically like turning 21 all over again, except I could afford better beer. So it was fine, right?
And you're right, because people you got champagne from like around the world.
Oh my gosh, so much champagne. Who knew that champagne was a gift of choice when you turn 50? But thank you to the champagne gifters out there, because it is one of my all-time favorite drinks. We had a toast with champagne. We had mimosas with champagne. We just had champagne for champagne. It was delicious, right?
I had so much champagne, my pee is carbonated.
Right.
So
and Daddy, every time I opened up a bottle, which was often, every time would be like, "Now be careful. That top's going to go flying out there." And I said, "No, I've learned the trick. You don't pop, well, you can pop the top of champagne.
put a kitchen towel over it, right?
But you put you don't, for all of you out there who are reluctant or scared of opening a champagne bottle, if you don't want the dramatic pop and then to waste half of the fizz, you actually don't take the top off. You have to think of it as turning the bottle around and dislodging the bottle from the top, if you think about it that way. So I just typically hold with the paper towel the top and then slowly turn the bottle instead of turning the top. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
And then it slowly dislodges and you get the pop. You always get the pop, just not of the fizz.
That gives me great anxiety to open anything carbonated, and I mean even like a bottle of seltzer.
Well, one of my new life hacks, if you want to know, and this brings me to one of my favorite gifts. So yes. So as you know, one of my requests was I wanted I wanted hacks. I love life hacks. And so my running partner, Jalen, she heard me loud and clear. She got me not only the life hack 365-day calendar, which starts in 21, so I have to be patient, but also the life hack book, which of course you and I started reading immediately and has best life hacks. So one of them I happened to read, there's a million of them, but one of them said, if you buy a 2-liter bottle of soda, but you want to save it, you don't want to open it up, shake it just a little, and then put it in your cabinet, and it should stay fizzy for many weeks.
Is this if you've already opened it, you mean?
No, before you ever open it.
Oh, well, it will go flat. Why will it go flat? Doesn't
Because
it
a lot
have
of
a longer
times
shelf life?
It'll go flat,
Yeah.
I think they have a certain shelf life, but they said just shake it a little and put it on there, and it'll be fine. So,
Well, my favorite life hack in that book was that for your resume,
this is the best.
everyone can put that they were Time Life Magazine's 2006 Person of the Year, because in 2006, everyone was Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Aaron actually remembered that they had like a mirror on the cover. Do you remember that?
Oh, no. I
Yeah,
gotta
so
find that.
like they're like, how are we? I'm imagining.
You said
like,
Time Life. You mean Time Magazine.
Oh yes, you're right. And sorry, I have my headset on, so I feel like a Time Life operator,
Yes,
which is
but
why
Time
I got
Magazine's Person of the Year was
Time Magazine.
everyone. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That's a great hack.
And me, I am Time Life Magazine's Person of the
I
Year.
am also Time Magazine's Person of the Year from 2006. Just
and
look at
there's
the
our
cover.
title.
That's our
There's the
title.
title
I'm putting
of the
that.
podcast.
I don't even have a formal resume anymore, but next time I need to do it, I'm putting it on my LinkedIn. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to update my LinkedIn and see if anybody congratulates me.
Next time I host a show, I'm going to introduce everyone as Time Magazine's 2006 Person of the Year.
We're so excited. Our panel consists of every single member, or at least not every single member, but yes, everybody on this panel has been named Time Magazine's 2006 Person of the Year.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell that to our kids too. I mean, Arthur was 6 at the time, but it's a good thing to add. He could be he was a very young Person of the Year. Yeah.
Right. Murray was just born. So
yeah. The other hack that, I shared with you the other night is, so I'm obsessed with these word games, these apps that I download for free.
Yeah. I had you download Word Cookies.
Yes,
which is
I did Word Cookie because we love the jumble. Alan and I do the jumble in the paper every day. And I do.
We love the jumble. Every morning
jumble.
we get our coffee, we go outside, and we do the jumble. Don't ruin the jumble by screaming out the words, Murray. Don't do it.
Exactly. So somehow we have turned into Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head while we do the jumble. So we do the jumble. We also love Sudoku and all that. But all of these games, so if you get these free games, everybody knows you get these free apps. Nothing is free. You have to watch like every 3 minutes. They make you like sit through these painful 45-second, 60-second, ads for these other stupid games. Right. So here we go. Life hack number 73. If you want to play the games without having the interruption, even if you haven't paid for the no commercial version, just put your phone on airplane mode. And by the way, you also have to turn off Wi-Fi. So when I put my phone on airplane mode, it automatically just defaults to Wi-Fi only. So turn off Wi-Fi, put it on airplane mode. It is brilliant. It is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew?
She probably figured it out when she was on an airplane.
I guess.
Right? She's got to, I
don't know. This book is filled with, they said they crowdsourced, this guy crowdsourced, from all over the internet.
Can we say the name of the book and give them credit? I feel like we need to do Works Cited here.
Oh, I don't have the book with me.
Do you have the book? No. Well, we can maybe, what's it called? Life Hacks?
Life Hacks, I think. And there's a website too. Do you want me to go get the book?
No, you don't have to get it. We can just look it up on Amazon and say, this is the book. But I feel like since we're quoting from it, what is that book you have for writing? The AP handbook? Like, there's like an AP handbook for podcasts and citing.
Right.
Like, are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Usually we get life hack books. Is it yellow? No. Life hacks.
Here it is.
Is it by Ravi Jain?
No. See, there's a bunch of them. This one is by Keith Bradford. Life hacks. Any procedure or action that solves a problem, simplifies a task, reduces frustration, etc. in one's everyday life. There you go.
It's such a good book. That's a good toilet book too.
It has 1,000 valuable life hacks. So basically that means that we have an endless supply of things to talk about for the podcast for the next 2 or 3 years, because we're just going to do 2 life hacks a week, and we'll be set for life.
Thank you, Keith Bradford.
Thank you, Keith Bradford. He also has a website, I think, Life Hacks, 1,000 Life Hacks, something like that. So the book contains life hacks not on his website. So I highly recommend the book. And just wait till I get to the calendar, the daily life hack calendar. Who knows?
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Speaking of life hacks, right? We also, for my birthday, or I guess speaking of birthday gifts, Mommy brought not only like all of her traditional baked goods, but a throwback to our childhood, which is as if you've ever listened to this podcast, you know that Amanda and I and our brother Stuart all went to a Jewish day school in Birmingham, Alabama, where you were not allowed to bring meat for lunch. We brought our lunches 4 days a week, and then
to keep it kosher. It was kosher style.
Yeah, kosher style. So back then, I tell this, if you don't know, for those of you who don't know, that McKee Baking Company is actually based in Chattanooga, well, right above Chattanooga, in Cleveland. Is it Cleveland? Collegedale.
I feel like it's in Collegedale, Tennessee.
Collegedale.
If you would like to write them, McKee Foods, P.O. Box 750, Collegedale, Tennessee, 37315.
So Collegedale, Tennessee, yes. And so I am friends with one of the McKees, who they're all phenomenal people and very philanthropic, and it's still a family business.
But I don't know if people know, unless you grew up in the South, I don't people know what the McKees created.
So I'm about to get there. So the McKee Baking Company is famous for Little Debbie's. So, and I'm not sure how widespread Little Debbie's are right around the country regional? Or the world. Yeah. But we grew up on Little Debbie's. And as soon as I met Chris McKee, who's one head of marketing there, I told him, I said, I have to credit you and your family for providing me the only quality like snack food and dessert in my daily lunches at the day school for 7 years, because Little Debbie's are kosher. Now, back when I was going to the Jewish day school, so let's see, I graduated there in 1983, right? So then backtrack 7 years from there. So 70s and 80s, you couldn't even bring Oreos there because Oreos at the time were still made with lard. Yeah. And Little Debbie's were not. They were made with vegetable oil or vegetable products. So they are kosher. I think all but maybe one of their products is certified kosher. If you look on the box, I actually happen to have a box that Mommy gave us. So she not only brought cream cheese and green olive mix, we had cream cheese and green olive sandwiches growing up. That was like the number one go-to sandwich.
God, it's so good. I love cream cheese and olives.
I know, and people think we're crazy when we say that. But
really?
Also Swiss, and they used to call these Swiss cake rolls, right? Now they're just Swiss rolls. They've kind of changed some of the naming.
Oh, you're right, because they have a picture of the packaging on the back. And in 1965, when they were 49 cents for 12, it was Swiss-style cake rolls.
Cake rolls, yeah.
And now it just says Swiss rolls, and then underneath it says 12 cake rolls, twin wrapped.
Yep.
One for sharing, which, whatever. I'm not going to share my Swiss cake rolls. That's not happening.
Well, I've been dying to interview for my PBS show the original Debbie, right? So Little Debbie, she does not like being called that though, but she is the chairman of the board. She's chairman of the board of the McKee Baking Company, of Little Debbie, of the whole company, right? And it's her actual picture that is on the Little Debbie packaging. And she told me this great story of how they became kosher. And that is that, when they were starting to package the snack cakes, before you would sell them just as individual. And so this was sort of revolutionary to package them in boxes of 6 or 8 or 12. But the guy who was doing the marketing suggested that they have a catchier name than just McKee Baking Company. And so they went through the order of all of the grandkids, and Debbie was one of the grandkids, and they said, how about call them Little Debbie's? And he happened to have an Olin Mills photo of her when she was like 4 years old. And they animated the photo. You can see it on the box. They animated it so that she didn't quite look 4. They thought that might be inappropriate. So they made her look a little older, more like 6 or 8 years old. They were about to roll out with all of this, and they realized that they didn't get permission from Little Debbie's parents, from Debbie's parents. And so finally, the grandfather went to them and said, we want to roll these out. We want to use her image and call them Little Debbie's. And the parents said, no way, you're not putting our daughter on there. Well, the negotiating factor ended up being that Debbie's mother was a vegan or at the very least, a very strict vegetarian, as are many of them. They are Seventh-day Adventists. So like us, they follow sort of the same kosher rules. And so they also don't eat pork products. And she said, you're still using lard in the snack cakes. If you will change all the ingredients over to vegetable-based shortening, I'll let you use Little Debbie's image and the name. And so that's what they did. And so that was back in, who knows, the 40s or 50s. And since then, not only are they vegetable based, but they are kosher. So thank goodness for Debbie's mom for using that as a negotiating tactic, and for Little Debbie in general for giving us the snack cake, and specifically, I still call it the Swiss cake roll, which literally saved me through the Jewish day school.
So I actually did some research on the background of Swiss cake rolls. They're not from Switzerland, even though I'm sure all of you are wondering, where did Swiss cake rolls come from in Switzerland? And they're not, even though I'm pretty sure these are like the Swiss Alps on the packaging.
For sure.
I would think so. I think they use those. Or they could be that could be just like an iceberg. I don't know. I don't know where those mountains are from in the background of this product, but they originated in like the mid to the end of 19th century and somewhere in Europe. But there seems to be a version of and it's also like a jelly roll cake, right? It's like the roll cake. And it seems to be across the world, people do these roll cakes in India and England and like everywhere. And the one place in Italy and China, all like everywhere around the world, they have this jelly roll cake. And what is interesting is that I could not find them in France, but our mom's close friend, Aunt Lisanne, who is Moroccan, right?
Yeah.
She and a fantastic baker used to make this thing, or still makes it, called a roulage, which looks like giant Swiss cake roll, like exactly, except it's got like cocoa powder on the outside and fresh whipped cream on the inside. She made one once for my birthday like years ago, which was the best present ever. Like I could eat a roulage by myself. But there's something, and we were talking about life hacks and we were talking about Alan, and he eats Swiss cake rolls the wrong way. And my husband's
terrible.
like,
it's terrible.
I want one. And he got one out of the package and he just took a bite out of it. And I'm like,
it's
what
criminal.
are you doing? That is not how you eat a Swiss roll. That is not how you eat it. And so we are doing our own life hack today on the Sis and Tell podcast, and that is
how to eat a Swiss roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Allison has one. She was so nice, and she gave me half of a box.
Yeah. All right. So if you'll notice, they are still very generous in the packaging. Yes, I'm showing one of the packages of a Swiss cake roll. It comes with two, not just one. 2 Swiss rolls.
And it has a sleeve that acts as like a plate, really? Because if you're
it comes with its own plate.
If you're in school, right, and you get this out of your lunchbox, you don't have a plate, but there's one right there. So you don't need to bring a plate with you to make this happen, because there's one that comes with it. And look, it's nice because as soon as you open it up, the chocolate is like, it's cracked a little.
Here it is. Here's mine. So yes, it's a perfect little plate.
Get started on how
it's a great look. You can take it on a picnic. You can take it on an airplane if you ever fly again. This is, to be fair, I buy Little Debbie's for the boys all the time. Alan is addicted to the Swiss rolls, to oatmeal cream pies, to some other ones. He eats them nonstop. I don't think I have legitimately had a Swiss roll since the day school. I can't remember the last time I had it.
Neither have I.
This is, I mean, talk about throwback Friday or whatever this is. So how old am I now? I'm 50. So if I haven't had one since I was like 12.
Oh my gosh.
38 years ago.
Well, I stopped. So here's the thing. I think it's been longer for me because by the time I got to the day school, like halfway through, they had a cafeteria, which they didn't have. I don't think for guys.
Well, we had Mary, who cooked for us every Friday and made the best fried chicken. So we had so Friday lunches we got to eat at school, and they provided that for us. But otherwise, no, there was no cafeteria. There was like a kitchen the size of your closet. So
So now at a certain point, we were eating with all of like the octogenarians. They would shuffle us into the what is that where the stage was? But it wasn't it was like a social hall.
The auditorium.
Yeah. The auditorium. Thank you. And they had like a buffet thing set up. So it was like us and all of like the old people. I'd run into Nana, who was our grandmother. Once in a while, Daddy would come and have lunch there. But so I stopped taking my lunch. So I really probably haven't had this since like second grade, right?
Well, I will say, ironically, this is also a big week for McKee Baking Company and Little Debbie, because Kellogg's just announced that they're coming out with oatmeal cream pie cereal. I know, no, but this is like a big thing. I sent it to Alan. There's a big thing on their social media saying the rumors are true, and I sent it to Alan. He just wrote back, "I want." All right, so how to eat a Swiss roll?
Right. I can't stop calling it a Swiss cake roll. So the thing to know is that you don't bite into this.
No, you don't bite into it. Ooh,
right?
Some of the chocolate fell off.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay.
So I'm trying to decide which one is going to be the easiest. So the idea is that there's like layers of chocolate on top of this cake, and you have to start taking meticulously.
See, I do like the ends first.
Well, oh, wait, are you eating? Why are you taking a bite? We have different strategies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Look, so I am eating the chocolate off of mine.
And I am biting the ends so that I can dislodge the top chocolate a little better.
Okay, so now I'm remembering, and I might also have to do that. But there's like a seam right here, and I'm just going to eat that.
Yeah, the seam. So if you turn the Swiss cake roll over, you will notice there's a very obvious seam. And look,
so
you can peel that apart. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm unraveling mine, right?
So it's flat. That far.
It's flattening.
My microphone keeps hitting it.
And just lick it. Just lick the microphone. If there's any, so you like unravel it, and then I can't remember what happens next except for eating.
I think I keep hitting my microphone.
Then we just eat, right? Maybe I did eat the ends off of it.
I think I unrolled it, and you lick the cream. Oh gosh! Now I know why Alan's just eating it. This is very messy.
Well, only 18 grams of fat.
Oh, God.
For two of them, though. That's not that bad for two of them.
Okay, there's chocolate all over my keyboard.
Oh. Well. And we both wore white today, which is probably
so silly.
Not.
But yeah, see, I have one layer off. You can still see the cream.
I already took mine off. You're slow.
I know, but when you unroll it, the beauty is it lasts so much longer. Oh, right? See here. The chocolate peels off.
Yeah. There's the inside.
Mm-hmm. There's like...
I don't have a napkin.
Oh, I brought a napkin. I was smart. And then I could lick the cream, but I can't get to the cream around my microphone.
And that's how you do it. You don't bite it.
No.
You meticulously eat the chocolate layer that's on top, and then you unroll it. Alison has a strategy of biting the ends to help loosen it up. Sometimes when you open up the packaging, the chocolate is cracked a little, so it makes it easier. But if it's not, that's when you bite the end to help do that. And then if you don't have a napkin, you do what I do, which is you rub it on your legs. Or your hair.
Or your hair.
The cream makes an excellent hair gel during the summertime for those who have to deal with humidity and curly hair like me.
Okay, and that is a lot of sugar for
it was a lot
the
of
morning.
Sugar. Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling it. It's like I just had like a Red Bull, which I've never had, but feel like another life hack. I don't know if this is
Red
true.
Bull?
No, about caffeine. So the book said one apple has more caffeine to keep you awake than a cup of coffee. How is that possible? How do apples have caffeine? I don't know.
How do we not know this already?
How do we not know this?
Don't you think we would know this
Don't you
already?
think we would know it? I don't know.
Where's his source?
Yeah. I don't know.
Where's the source? Are you eating the second Swiss cake roll?
I think I will go into like some sort of shock.
Right?
Like
I've not had I'm not like a sweets person.
Whew, I'm telling you, I'm sweating.
I am a Swiss.
It's a lot.
A Swiss cake roll.
Yeah,
person.
but it is delicious. It's as delicious as I remember. Yeah.
Oh my God! Good job.
Thank you. So.
Thank you. McKee Foods.
Thank you, McKee Foods.
750.
Thank you, Little Debbie. Thank you, thank you to Swiss cake rolls.
You know what? If this was normal times, I would go as Little Debbie for Halloween. And it'd be so easy with my short hair. I could get like that blue gingham looking shirt, that hat, and then I would just pass out Little Debbie's to everyone.
Did
How
you ever
cute would
see
That's
oh
a
my
great
gosh,
costume.
what's his name? Will
Farrell?
Will Ferrell did a Little Debbie impersonation. I think on like the Tonight Show. It is hysterical.
Then it must be not international. It must be a national brand now.
Yeah, I think it's been national for a long time. So
right.
Yeah. So guess what? Next week we can talk about the other Chattanooga treat, moon pies.
Oh, how to eat a moon pie. Do you have a special way of eating moon pies other than just biting it? I don't even know. Do you dunk it in something?
A lot of people microwave them and they blow up, sort of.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Microwaving. There we go. There's the episode.
Chattanooga Bakery.
Week.
Yep. Yeah. We just got this. And then we'll do Coca-Cola after that because Chattanooga, as you may know, the very first Coca-Cola bottling company, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, congratulations if you've listened this far. You've enjoyed an entire podcast solely created by Time Magazine's 2006 People of the Year, Amanda and Alison. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share us with your friends and share, a Swiss cake roll with your friend too. There's 2 in a package.
As always, this has been Amanda and Alison with a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. We'll catch you next time.